만나면 좋은 친구 MBC.
So when I travel around different areas, different alleyways, finding the stories, I'm a great believer that everybody has a story. But when you meet somebody like that, that's very special to hear that. Hello, my name is Scott Ramsey. I'm a professional photographer from the UK, England, and I was the first star of Forbidden Alleys way back in 2019.
Welcome to Brighton, one of my most favourite places in the UK, it's got to be. We're right by the sea, we're on the south coast of the UK, but not only is it one of the most famous places to come to visit, we had people like King George IV come down here.
Hey, excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. Would you mind? How are you doing? I'm Scott. Nice to meet you. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So you want it anyway.
Yeah, you got your ideal spot there, haven't you? I wouldn't move. Back in 2019, when I travelled around the UK, and in particular Brighton, my hometown. Today, I'm at last in Busan, a very famous part of South Korea, a beach that is very, very popular in this country. It's popular for its luxury hotels surrounding me here, the beach, the sunshine, and people love to come down here, especially from Seoul area. I'm going to be exploring this area and finding out and looking for photographs, meeting people, and taking a trip around here. Come and join me as I explore. I would love to get a photograph of these guys here playing volleyball. Let's see if we can get a picture. Hi guys, do you speak English? Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I'm a photographer visiting from England. Do you mind if I do a shot of you guys playing volleyball?
Yeah,
Would that be all right? Thank you very much. Thanks, sorry to interrupt. Thank you. I was going to go for it. There's some children singing over there. They're so cute. Let's go and say hello. Come on. Hello! Come and say hello. I heard you're singing. You're so good. You love it. And look at you. You got your hats on. Do you like my hats? Oh, thank you. And I love your singing. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fantastic. Hold on. One more. I love that beach. It so reminded me of Brighton when I first appeared in Forbidden Alleys way back in 2019. And the similarities are so close together. I decided that I wanted to come to Korea from my first time that I was contacted to appear in the first episode of Forbidden Alleys. I love the concept of the program and the styling and the team that were working on it. But you know what? As soon as I got off the flight and stepped into Busan, I felt like I was at home. I really like Busan. I love Seoul, but I really like Busan. I've made my way over here to 해리단길, which is a particular area that's very famous here because it's become quite a hipster, quite a cool area to visit. Unlike the beach, this area was originally a very traditional, very quiet residential area. However, it's a great success because it's been regenerated. And this whole area has become very cool, trendy, and the young people love exploring here. But as you make your way further up, I'm being led to believe that it becomes very more traditional and quiet area again through the alleyways. So I'm really interested to see what I will find and also the pictures I can make as I explore. So I'm going to head off and take a look. This is quite interesting round here. There's some older gentlemen sat having a coffee. It makes a nice picture. I'm not sure if I can work my way through, but we're going to see if I can get through here. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, hello. Can I take your photo? Is that okay? Yeah. And just looking at the camera. It's quite narrow, but it looks like we can get through. Got to breathe in. Look at this. Opens up. And do you know what I really like about this area? It's old, it's traditional, it's quiet. But look, just over there, you've got the high-rise apartments and the hotel. So you've got the old and the new right by each other. That is a fantastic photograph right there. I've got to get that picture. The cranes up there are fantastic. Let's get a photo. I like it. There seems to be a little alleyway going through this old apartment block. People still seem to be living here. But we've got this alleyway that goes through to, well, I almost think it's like a courtyard area. I don't know whether this is a bit of a forbidden alley, but I really want to go and explore through. I can see some people through the other side. I'm going to take a chance and see if I can make my way through. Wow. Look at this space. I didn't expect this to open up like this into a courtyard. It reminds me of a courtyard that I would have back in the UK in England with the apartment block running all the way around. And it's opened up to this fantastic space here. I love this space. This whole area I can see is popular with people taking photographs for Instagram and things like that. They're going around, the young people with their phones, getting the shots, just like me, but I'm a bit older and a bit more of an old photographer, but I can still see images all the way around. The leading lines against the sky up here, look. Hello, hi. Can you tell me, can I get up to the balcony from here? Just here? Ah, thank you.
가면은 거기에 딱 꺾이면 됩니다.
Round there? Okay. Thank you. Can I take your picture? You look so good with your umbrella. There we go. I love the way the white buildings and the windows and then the blue sky right up there. It reminds me of my time when I traveled around Spain, and you always had a blue sky in Spain and white buildings, whitewashed buildings, and you've got a similar look here. Let's see if we can get a photograph of it. But also the way that we're looking over the edge, looking down amongst the people. And I can see a cat down there. There's a little black cat running around just by the... And all the people and the birds, look. Ooh. It's fantastic. They're too quick, far too quick for me. They're diving in and out. This area is just up a little bit behind Herodonki where I was before, and it's a totally different area. It's a lot more quiet. I've noticed already that there's more traditional housing here. However, a lot of the housing seems to be empty. You know, it's not all about the modern areas, the new areas, the hip areas, the cool areas. It's about the old streets and the old alleyways that you explore as well. So I'm going to head up this alleyway here. It's quite steep, so I'm going to go slow and walk up and see what I can find. I really like this area. Let's face it, we don't know how long this will stay like this. And when it's gone forever. So as a photographer, I want to capture all this old and the worn out area in my pictures. Look at this. Love this. It actually reminds me a little bit about the TV show Squid Games. And there's a scene in Squid Games with the old man, and they're playing in like a village set, and they're playing a competition. And they go into all these different kind of houses, and it's very similar. I feel like I could open this door here and turn in, and the old man in the film, in Squid Games, in the TV show, would be there sat playing the game. I think they had to throw things across the floor to see who wins. Yeah. And there again, look, across this old wall. But this is dark here. I want this light to see the sun coming across here. And again, the lines, and then this old building, and the alleyway. Look, 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 look. This frames the new perfectly. The cables running down, the telegraph pole here, the wall going down, the light coming through, and it gives me a frame for the new apartments across there. And you've got the old alleyway coming through here as well. And what's this up here? It looks like a temple, like some kind of temple. I wasn't expecting that at all, to see this here. There's a lady walking down with an umbrella just here, with a parasol. I've got to explore around here. This is good. It's fantastic to be here at the site of the temple. You can see where I started today's journey, down on the beach, although you can't see it anymore, because 10 years ago you could see the sea and all of the area around here, but now we have apartment blocks and high rises. But it's as if this temple is almost guarding the whole of Busan, up high, overlooking the city, sending out the love and calm to all the city and looking after its people. I like this spot. This is a fantastic spot. I've got to do some pictures around here. My first time in a temple in South Korea, and it's a I would say a magical place. I've been to many cathedrals and churches across the world, but there's something special about this kind of place. And yeah, it's something very, very different, something I haven't experienced before. And I like it. It's fantastic. I could spend a long time here just wandering around and calm and connecting with people. I like it very much. The photograph that actually I really liked was there was a lady folding, I think they were towels, and I asked her if I could take a picture and she said yes. I like to show people in the environment, and the dedication of her working in the temple made the picture just how I wanted it to be. During the war, many of the North Koreans ended up in this area, south into the area that I'm in now. It turned out that there were so many refugees that ended up down here. The Americans actually moved them to this area, which is Dangamdong, the area here that I am stood now. And I want to explore this area. It's got very small alleyways, just like the one behind me, very narrow. I'm quite large and I've got my camera. I don't actually know whether I'll fit as I walk through there, but we're going to give it a go and find out a little bit about the history, about where the North Korean refugees settled in this precise area. Let's go and take a look. Look how low the roof is here. Look, my head. It's a really small area and such a narrow lane. Wow, it goes on for ages, all the way up here. It goes on a long way. I was expecting it to be a short alleyway, but it goes on for what seems to be miles up here. You can see the red paint behind me here on this building and this side of this building here. It turns out that that actually means that this building is going to be demolished. And it fills me with a little bit of sadness that this whole area is soon going to change into something else and the stories will be lost. As the building goes and maybe a new apartments arrive, the history of the people and the North Koreans that set up their homes here, safety away from North Korea when they were refugees, could be lost. But these will be gone soon. So we're the last to look at these now. This seems to be the end of the alley here. I've come to the end of my little journey here, but I've noticed over there's a market, and I hear that there's a grandma there that will tell me all about the North Koreans and the refugees that came here. So I'm going to go and see if I can find her. It's very nice to meet you. Hello there. Hello. Hi. So I'm very interested in her story. So she escaped from North Korea and came here during the war. Is that correct?
어머니 이북에서 오신 이야기 해주세요.
내 고향이 한경남도 흥남시 뭐 그 앞에 비료 공장이 있거든. 여기에 사변이 딱 일어나가고서래 바다에다가 뭐 수없이 배가 들어왔더라고. 우리도 쉬러 간다고. 그래가고서래 피로 나온 게 거제도 그때가 크리스마스 때라.
거제도에서 단감동으로 오게 된 이야기를 해주세요.
오빠가 똑똑하니까나 조금만 거제도에서 고생해라. 조금만 고생할 것 같으면 자기네 데리러 나온다. 그래서 거기에서 3년 동안 있었어요.
So you arrived here and your brother was here and your family. Did you set up the hanbok shop straight away?
쉽게 말해서 아버지 월급이 조금만 해갖고 도저히 할 수가 없어서
그때는 문간 월급이가 최하빨이야. 아저씨 생각하면 이 아저씨처럼 아주 멋지고 참 좋아해.
이야기 나오면은 없대요. 아버지가 옆에 있으면은 지나가는 아줌마가 아버지를 한번 돌아보고 저 아줌마가 저 아저씨랑 부부가 할 정도로 아버지를 많이 탐했대요. 그래서 엄마는 아버지를 좀 조심시키고.
저런 사람이 단감동에도 있어요. 그러는 거다. 그래서 단감동에 있어요. 이 사람 믿지 않아야 하니까 아이고 너무너무 좋아해. 너무 좋았다고. 그러니까 나 빨리 죽어.
우리 애기 아빠 19살에 그때 돌아가셨어요. 우리 지금 어머니가 92살이거든요. 어머니가 92살이니까 아버님 49살에 돌아가시니까 얼마나 안타깝겠어요.
Look at this.
아버지.
Who's this? Little toes. Little toes. Oh, this is fantastic.
그래도 피가 나와서 겨우 사무실도 그래도 순순다. 얘는 다 갇혔어.
얘는 다 갇혔어요.
Oh, I love old photographs.
I've so much enjoyed hearing your story of your life and seeing your wonderful shop and meeting you. And I would love to take a photograph of you both together and you, a picture of you with a picture of your husband. Would you allow me to take a picture of you with my camera? Yeah? Yeah?
네, 네,
Oh,
네.
thank you, thank you.
네.
1, 2, 3. this area I particularly like, and it will be one of my best memories from my trip to Busan, because I met my Busan grandma. Listening to her story about how she escaped from North Korea during the war, and she resettled here, set up that shop. Fantastic. Such a powerful story of what she went through at such a young age. For me, as a photographer and a traveller and an explorer, it's stories like that that really make all those air miles worth it, and coming to new countries. That is what I'm always seeking. I'm a great believer that everybody has a story, but when you meet somebody like that, that's very special to hear that. So here we are on the 40 steps that lead up to the top of the hill. This is a very famous area because during the evacuation during the Korean War, families would reunite here. They would make sure that this is where they would meet if they got split up. So it's a very poignant moment that they would meet and get together with one another again. I'm going to explore further up here, but this is in fact our last alley during this series. So we're going to go and have a little look and see what we can find. So this whole area at the top of the steps, let me catch my breath. And I'm really glad that I didn't live here back then, because you would have had to carry water up those steps all the way to the top, and that's hard work. I'm out of breath and all I'm carrying is a camera. Yeah, it had to be tough to live up here back then. This was just what I was looking for. It's an old printing shop that's been around here for many, many, many years. Let's see if I can go in and take some photographs. Hello. What a great shop. It's good to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Fantastic. I love your print shop. This is fantastic, and all the machines here. How long has the shop been here?
92년 5월 1일 날 개업했어요. 92년 5월 1일 날 개업해가지고 그 당시에는 개업할 때 그 당시에는 일이 굉장히 많았지. 이제. 요즘은 저녁 5시 반만 되면 사람이 없어요. 여기 처음에 6사람이 있었어요. 이 좁은 데서. IMF 터질 때 그때까지만 해도 일이 굉장히 많았어요. 옛날하고 지금하고 보면 지금 일하는 것도 아니라 그 당시에는 내가 이리 배가 지금 나왔는데 배에 나올 그게 없었어요. 진짜 날씬했었는데 내가 지금 49년생 70 너인데 아직까지 일하고 있는 게 그래 된 거지. 지금 물건 제일 오래된 건 이 기강. 내 개업할 때 이제 대구에서 가져왔으니까. 다른 사람들 보면은 지금 박물관 갈 기계래, 이 기계가. 그러다 사용을 잘 하고 있거든.
As you and the machine has got older, which is better? Which performs better, the machine or you?
둘 중에 여기 낫지. 나는 이제 고물이 다 됐고, 이건 아직까지 쓸 수 있으니까 내보다 낫지 이게.
So, please, if you would allow me, I would love to take your photographs in front of your machine as a memento of my journey to Busan and the printing shop alley. Yeah.
Cheers.
Ah, fantastic. Great. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Ah, okay. And straight here. Okay. Fantastic. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And again. I think maybe the guy in the printing shop was interesting and more of working natural photographs. He was perfect because as a photojournalist, you want people to ignore you sometimes. And he totally ignored me. He had a job to do and I could just freely go around taking all my images. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, fantastic. It's a steep walk up these steps, and it's getting warm now. This is an interesting spot here. We got a cat sat there. It's an interesting place. We've got alleyways this way, alleyways that way, alleyways this way. I'm going to try this way, I think. This is quite an interesting garden. It's a Japanese garden here next to this house. So the house was built by a very rich Japanese owner. He was a factory owner. He died in 1941, but the house remains here and everybody in this area knows the house. But the house, when it was first built, you could still see the sea. Now the modern buildings and apartments and hotels have been built up around it. But I can imagine the Japanese owner sat here, enjoying maybe a tea or something and looking out across the sea. So now there's an exhibition in the house inside on the second floor. And look, it reminds me of the journey I've had through Busan on my travels for Forbidden Alleys. Because this picture depicts the North Koreans when they were evacuated down here on the large ships. And if you remember, I met my Busan grandmother, and she would have arrived maybe even on this ship that's depicted in the picture. And you can see, look, a very frightened person down here in amongst all the crowds. And that really reminds me of her and her story that I heard. The story continues in the paintings, in these pictures that are dotted around. But look, we have our little character here. And this depicts where they first settled. The refugees were put in these very, very basic shelters with straw roofs. And you can see that they weren't in a good state at all. But they'd escaped the war and at least they were safe. And there she is, look, up on the bridge, still looking, frightened. And here we have the 40 steps that we were just by, actually. It's not far from here. Where the refugees would wait to see whether they would meet members of their family or maybe friends or maybe other refugees that they knew. And this reminds me of how lucky my Busan grandmother was, that she came here with her family. But so many people arrived and ended up in Busan safe, but never will see their family again. They're still in North Korea. So it's just sad to think of this. Paintings that were there were very good. I really enjoyed those and they reminded me of my whole journey. Especially it reminded me of the refugees that I've met. You know, the Busan grandma. And it seemed to finish my whole journey and my time in Busan perfectly. Yeah, I will remember that for a long time. Back in 2019, I joined the Forbidden Alleys team with my camera and we explored the UK, Brighton, London, York. I wouldn't have dreamed that I would be stood here now in Busan in 2022 exploring this fantastic city. South Korea is a dream. I absolutely love it because where I live in England, I live by the sea. And I love Busan and the people and the food and the environment and everything that I've seen and done here has been fantastic. Not only as a photographer, but also as somebody that likes to explore hidden alleys, forbidden alleys. The trip has been fantastic and I can't wait to return sometime. I've enjoyed it and I'm going to be back soon. I can promise you that. Life like living in these apartments?
예, 여기에 조용하고 너무 공기 좋고.
But the alleyway, look, with the people coming down, all in one picture. Let's go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go, go. Out of my top 3 is definitely my Busan grandmother. And the photograph of her, it was the portrait photograph of her. And she had a photograph of her husband who's died, unfortunately. He's no longer with us. But when she was talking about her husband, her eyes lit up. It was like she was a young girl again. And you could see the love that she had for him. And to hold that photograph, I think it was a photograph of both of them, if my memory serves me correctly, was a special moment. And I will make sure that she gets a copy of that photograph that I've taken. And I hope that she cherishes it as much as I cherish the moment that I met her. That was fantastic. Yeah. I'm dreaming of traveling to places and meeting people and hearing their stories and taking photographs. But I believe strongly that everybody has a story to tell. and I'm on this earth to record people's stories and tell those stories and share those stories. And that is what I want to do till the day I die. Kimchi! Okay, bye! Bye bye!
京都らしい路地なんですよ。私にとって路地というのは京都の街中の人間というよりは普通の生活者、その分歴史というかそこの地域の歴史の重みとか生活感とかを味わうことができました。